I say the Lord is good.
Yeah.
That's all the time. You know, most of us, we have our way. So I say all good days I have, but some are better days. And when you're not having the best day, it might just show up in your personality. But you know, God is about good. And He never show up anything but a loving God. In spite of what has gone down, He's still the loving God. Yes. So we just have so much to praise Him for. And when we realize how good the Lord is and how much He loves us in spite of, that should give us great courage just to praise Him at all times. Lord, I just want to bless you. I want to thank you for another day. I want to thank you for all that you've done and for what you are doing and for the things that you shall do. We bless you. Thank you, God. We praise you. We lift up your name. We glorify God. We exalt your name. No other name goes on this. Whereby we can be saved. Only through your blood. Yes, Jesus. We are washed. We are cleansed. Yes, Lord. We are made pure. Yes, God. Because of your blood that you shed for each one of us. Yes, Lord. You didn't have to do it. But your love is so great. Yes, God. Until you give your life that I could live tonight. And Lord, I praise you. Thank you, God. Oh, I bless your name. My soul magnify thee. Look on us in a special way. Yes, Lord. Those that's less fortunate for many, Lord, their heads are down, their hearts are heavy, and some afflicted in their body. Yes, God. But Lord, you are merciful. Yes. Move on them in a special way. Grant each and every request. Yes. Lord, you know every intent of the heart. Yes, God. Stretch out your hand. Yes, Lord. Touch that area of our lives that no man can. Only you alone can give me strength. Can lift up my head. Yes, Lord. Even when doctors had said no. It's not over until you speak, Lord. And I bless your name. I praise your name. Oh, I lift up your name. Oh, Jesus, I thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I thank you for the class. Yes. Thank you for the students. Yes. Thy hand rest upon each one of us. Keep us strong. Yes. Keep our minds stayed upon you, Lord. Help us to be about kingdom building. Yes. Have your own way. Yes, Lord. Lord, thou know them all by name. Yes. Even to those that pray. Yes. Lord, you know what is going on in their lives. Yes, move in their behalf. Thank you, Jesus. Give us traveling mercy. Yes, oh, God, those traveling this way. Yes, Lord. Oh, God, move in their lives. Yes. Protect them. Yes. From all danger. Keep their minds upon thee. You bless us, and forever we shall be blessed. If you strengthen us, we remain strong. Help us to love as you have loved us. All this we ask in Jesus' name, and for Christ's sake. Let's put our hands together. Those that's listening in, that God will move in a special way into their lives. That God will meet every need. Yeah. He has promised to fulfill the very desires of our heart. All we need to do is to give it to Jesus. Let's say it's going to be all right. I'm in the hand of the Lord. No greater hand But the hand of the Lord will see you through. In Jesus' name. At this time, we thank God for each and every one of you that went to this morning service in the hands of Simpson coming home tonight. Let's just see them around the floor. Let's get
Amen.
Amen.
Say, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
All right, come on, let's give the Lord a before you long. All right, so we're in lesson the prophet and the plowboy, right?
Thank you, sir.
Everybody did you read the lesson?
Yes.
All right, did you have problems with your lesson? That's what I'm talking about. You dug it. Okay, you dug and you dug and you dug. Before we began, we want to reiterate, try to stay where we're at. We're on a section of commitment. And we're finding different ways or different stories of those who have shown their commitment. Amen. We see how important commitment is. And when we look at the first lesson, we learning to listen. You can't be committed until you learn to what? Listen. Is that right? You can't be a know-it-all. I got it covered. Just because, and I shouldn't say just this way, because you have to call it. The Bible says that many have been called, but few are chosen. And then the next lesson we hear about Mary and who? Elizabeth. Y'all remember? All right, it says the mother of masters. And it talks about how their motherhood, their walk with God, their faith in God, their commitment to God. We learn about Hannah and her commitment concerning Samuel. And in this lesson, it brings on another definition of what commitment takes. It starts off with the prophet and the plowboy. And the subtext to get the understanding of commitment in this phase has to do with servitude. And we find out how important it is to be a servant of the Lord. Now, before we start reading the scripture, what is a servant? Because a lot of stuff we want to put together. I want to stay on the subject as much as I can. Of course, if there's questions, I'm going to call on Elder Lee. He is my Old Testament bang. I'm just kidding, but I'm always encouraging Elder Lee, especially his Old Testament knowledge. Amen. Come on now. We ought to encourage one another. Y'all, what you this morning? I'm by myself. All right.
I'm with you.
So we're talking today about servitude. Now, being a servant has to have a certain attitude. Oh boy. All right. Now, being a child of God also has to have a attitude. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Why are you going this way? We're going to learn what's important that attitude is. All right. And an attitude usually defines, and I want my wife to look at it, what's going on. You got a certain attitude, everybody knows something going on. What's going on? Well, it's the same thing in the positive sense. Your attitude describes what's going on with your relationship with God. Oh boy, Brother Ron, how will you get this? Your servitude shows how committed you are to the things of God. Anybody seen me in church in 3 weeks? You ain't involved in nothing. They ask you to do something. You either don't show up, get out of it, don't study hard enough, just haphazardly, or you either get committed, stick with it. Even if you don't know much, when you get up there to speak for the subject that they gave you to speak, they can tell you did some digging. You really wanted to get the attitude to which the subject is love. You not only study love, you try to perform love before you get up and have something to say concerning love. Making sense. So here we find out the servitude, which is the attitude of the Christian or the believer. And we find it a lot of times where we least suspect. I'm going to go over it. All right? It's amazing. Listen, just because you're talented, know a lot, you got a lot of talent, does not measure your servitude. It's what you apply concerning the things of God, your church, your fellowship, your friendship, your prayership, your loveship, your forgiveship, your giveship. All right. All right, so let's get into the lesson. All right, the prophet and the flower. The focus verse, 2 Kings 2:9. And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elijah, ask what ask what I do for thee, or I shall do for thee, before I am taken away from thee. And Elijah said, I pray thee, let me have a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. All right, and that's a big request. All right, 2 Kings 19 through 21. Anybody read for me now so we have some participation? Anybody still there? Anybody?
So get the part of it, and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him, and he was the 12th. And Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. And he left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, let me, I pray thee, kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow thee. And he said unto him, go back again, for what have I done to thee? And he returned back from him, and took a yoke of oxen, and slew them, and boiled their flesh with the instruments of the oxen, and gave unto the people, and they did eat. Then he arose and went after Elijah, and ministered unto him. And Elijah took his mantle, and wrapped it together, and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they too went over on dry ground. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elijah saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes, and rent them into two pieces. He took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and smote the waters, and said, where is the Lord God of Elijah? And when he also had smitten the waters, they parted hither and thither. And Elijah went over.
Amen. Went over on dry ground, right? Okay, you gonna read the rest? Or? Okay, went over. All right. All right, so we're talking today about the prophet and the cloud. Amen. And we're talking about servitude. The focus verse that God has given us a gift of life. And it is wonderful. It is a wonderful experience. In Jesus, we learn to appreciate life, life's challenges, purpose, and potential. Amen. So even though sometimes I complain about challenges, this and that, amen, the challenges develop me into a servant of God. No matter what goes on, I still have to walk and listen to God's commandments. I hope I'm making sense. I've learned over the years of the few ministry years that the things I go through, even though they're bad things, even though being in ministry is not that easy, even though being saved is not, even though if you live right for the Lord, folk gonna talk about it. There's gonna be some hardship. This has developed me into a better minister to be used by God. I heard a minister preach years ago about he was under somebody, and he kept praying for the Lord because he felt that he was ready, but the Lord had told him you had not suffered enough yet. And he said he couldn't understand it until finally the person he was under died. And when he got into the ministry and full stream into being a leader, he didn't know how rough and tough the work was. And because of all he went through, God had made his spiritual skin tough. God had made his aptitude to stand strong more by the things he went through following under the ministry and preparing him to be a better servant. Well, some of us want to sing better, and singing is good. Some of us want to preach better, teach better, but God wants us to live as a better servant. If we don't learn how to live as a better servant, we will give up easily. No matter what you go through in your walk with God, you must always remember that you are a servant first. Jesus was a what? A servant. He didn't come down here to destroy the world. He didn't come down here to kill all the Romans. He came down here to be a servant. The Bible says, unto the what? Cross. He went to the Garden of Gethsemane, and he understood what it was going to take to get up on that cross. And he prayed that this cup could be. And he realized that that cross was part of his serving to. I hope I'm making sense. Are you with me? I mean, this evening, okay? So we want to go into a true servant's attitude. Because whatever you do in the Lord, it's got to be your attitude. Jesus preached on the mountain. He taught the be attitude. If something is part of your attitude, can nobody change your longitude? Can nobody bring you down when you're standing for God with a servant's attitude? In other words, in order to get up in God, what's the first thing you got to do? You got to humble yourself. You can't go all past the other things and think that you're going to be used by God to the highest point of your ability. It's not about how gifted you are. All right. So we want to read the true servant's attitude. A servant thinks more. What? Can anybody? What? A servant thinks of others more than himself. Now, Lee taught that up Sunday. I was in the back lesson. He probably don't think I was there. But a servant thinks more of others than he does himself. Does anybody agree with that? Yes. Do you think of others more than you think of yourself? Sometimes. Lee put it up there. I ain't gonna say nothing. All right. So sometimes you do. And then Lee talked about the reaction in Vietnam when something came up. The very inside of him reacted Are you hearing me? So being a servant of God, are y'all hearing me? It has to be that inner desire. It can't be the outer desire. The devil can trip you up with jealousy, hate, and envy. It's got to be something that you allow God to develop in you. I don't know how many times I wanted to quit, how many times I wanted to fall out the race, how many times I wanted to give up. But there's something about that what all the Lord has done for me makes me want to serve by Him, the Lord. Amen. Oh, God would be like what? All right. It says that he thinks of others more himself, and he is what? Humble. Now, what humbles you in God? Why would you want to be a servant of the Lord?
You love Him.
Yes. All right. What would you be without God? Would you even be here if it wasn't for the Lord? If we were to take a flag out of our lives, there are times and areas and things that if it wasn't for the Lord, we wouldn't even be here. And some of us say, well, I got saved. No. God saved it. It was God's drawing that brought you to the things I went through actually brought me to the Lord. And when I look at the picture clearly, it wasn't me. It wasn't nothing I'd done. It was God who desired for my soul to be saved from the beginning. I'm humble. And when you're humble, you want to know, what can I do to be used by the Lord? All right, let's get to the subject. Let's get to the story. All right, what about Elijah and Elijah? Anybody know? What happened? Okay, how did this start? Come on, let's get this. How did this start? Where was Elijah or Elisha when Elijah showed up on the scene? What was he doing? He was working in the field. He was plowing, is that right? And when Elijah threw his cloth or his mantle on him, what did Elijah do?
He ran out. In his time, when Elijah threw his mantle on him, on the under him, and we articulate to carry out the work that Elijah was carrying out. And yet, that's why his love was so. I think that's why Elijah recognized such love that, as a servant, that Elisha had. Because he waited just sometimes that he came to pass when they were gone over with and Elijah said unto Elisha, I feel that most times you speak about Elisha that she did, but I believe that Elijah felt the servant of Elisha very special, because it seemed, because Elijah was at an age and he felt that his work, most of his work was behind him. And so he wanted to know from Elisha, what is it before I'm taken away from you, because I don't have long. And what is it that I can do for you? And I believe you do the same thing because of what Elisha has done in the past. I believe he has been moved by what he's done. And that's why he said, but you're asking for a very hard. I think that would go on. We just read the story and you just don't see nothing like this, and you don't know in the background how this came about. All I'm trying to say is, we don't know who that person be.
That's right.
You don't even want to be like someone. And you know, just like we follow, I want to be like you.
Yeah.
But where does our start? I'm the teacher has stated, it's not that easy. Where I start? When I want to be just like you. But where do we start? He's raising the kids. Let's start out raising the kids. You know. Yeah. But we want to go to the 40-day family. Yeah, what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like, so all I'm trying to say is I think Elijah recognized the service of Elisha, that he will stand by him. And even though he had asked something very, very hard. But I tell you what, if you follow me, watch what I do, because Elijah was called by, well, both were called by God, but it was a difference. Elijah was called by Yahweh. Elisha just called by Elijah. I'll follow you. Talk to you.
Yes.
And Elisha knew of Elijah. He knew of him. He knew what the work he had done as a prophet. But he said to him, like, I'll follow you, I'll help you, I'll work with you. But he didn't want to be in no lead, no prophet. He just wanted to continue to do what he was doing and just follow him. But he was telling him, he said, this is a great responsibility, but to follow, but he said, this is a great responsibility, but he viewed it as an awesome task if someone would look on him and felt as though he was a man of such stature to follow in his footsteps.
Now, Elijah was a known prophet.
Yes.
He was known for amongst the people, but he was known for his faithfulness to God. He is the only one out of all of the prophets that stood up to King Ahaz and Jezebel. He was known for his courage, his pride. All right. He was known for being used by God where miracles were performed. And a miracle is when you know there's something else that nobody else can do but God. So here he is. He's throwing down this mantle under Elijah. And Elijah is so excited. And like we're told by the superintendent, he's not doing none of this for no notoriety. He's not doing none of this to impress anybody. He just wants to be a servant unto Elijah. God is looking for servants. You got to watch folks who always got to be seen, always got to have something to say, always got to be around. The pastor get up, he really wants the pastor down because he wants to show his little gift. We have to learn how to be servant first. God develops us in servitude, not in leadership. When you get to leadership, you already went through servitude. You're not a good leader unless you're a good follower. Now, in ministry, I went to Bible school, and there was a guy, this guy, and I'm not just going to name him, he was so excellent. He was just like, he used to have me with each other. Like, oh man, I wish I could speak to him. But he had one thing he didn't have. He didn't have time to wait. He was an overnight wonder, and yesterday's or tomorrow's blunder. Because even though he was talented, he never learned to be a servant of the Lord before the people. It takes work. I hope I'm making sense. So Elijah was so excited that he ran. I just want to be a servant. I just want to be. Was Elijah the only one? No, God could have chose a whole bunch. There was already 100 prophets in hiding. And not counting that Elijah had who? Elijah had disciples. But out of all the people, God told Elijah to put his father, his mantle on Elijah. And Elijah was honored in the sense, I just want to be a servant in the house of the Lord. I'd rather be a servant in the house of the Lord than not in the Lord at all, in the house of the Lord at all. So he knew the importance of his just being chosen by God. Do we know how important it is just to be saved by the Lord Jesus Christ? Do we think that we're not as important as because we're not on the pulpit or we're not over here? You are just as important. God can use you just as much as he can use somebody else. And sometimes God can use you more than he can use somebody else, because there's places you can go, places you can talk, places you can be that other person may not never be able to go. So God is using this power. Now, we find out that he had 12 oxen. Is that right? Meaning in his day, there was a little, he was a little wealthy. All you hear is livestock, and he came from a good-to-do family. All right? So it gives me a picture. Anybody know what this picture of Elisha under Elijah, when he got off the plow and he ran under Elijah? What is this a picture of? Because this lesson is about types and symbols of what's to come. What was Elijah when he ran off that plow? Who did he represent? Or what group did he represent? All right, Peter and John were fishing. Jesus showed up. What did Peter and John do? They just dropped their nets. Was it nothing more important than following this Jesus that John the Baptist had been talking about? Are y'all hearing me? They just dropped their nets. And Elijah did the exact same thing. And he came to Elijah and said, listen, can I go home first and kiss my mother and my father? And this gets confusing. So he goes home, and out of the 12 oxen he has, what does he do? He takes one of them, he slices them up, he boils them, and he calls everybody together. Y'all going somewhere. And he has a feast, and he kisses his mother and his father. What does that mean? You may never see me again. I am ready to give my life for the service of the Lord. And before I can do that, I need to be trained. Now, the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 5:17, therefore, if any man or woman be in Christ, what does it say? Come on, y'all. New creature. And what happened? Old things have passed away. We have a funeral going on. Elijah had a funeral. Mommy and Daddy, you may never shoot me. I'm out. Where you going? I'm following the man of God. I just want to be his servant. All of the great things he's done. He's known from the region to do great things. I just want to be his servant. So he becomes, the lesson talks about his apprentice. Now, what is an apprentice? And this is very important, not to be long, but we must understand what God does in service. It is so important. You'd be surprised how many Christians has missed the opportunity of service. They want to go right to leadership. Oh, I know too. Or they might just run down to YouTube and start preaching. You gotta get this. I remember my apartment days. I'm married now, so I can tell you. And I was so lonely up in that father, man. But I was giving my best. I wanted to live right for her. I had made mistakes. But this time, Teresa, I'm going to do this thing till my wife shows up. I got to cut some things. It wasn't Facebook, but I'm in mind while you're saying, I don't have a Facebook page. I got to say, I got rid of my Facebook page. That is so distinctive to a servitude person. I was talking to Dr. Kreps, you know, my game, she said, I love basketball. I told her I'm basketball, so I mean, that was all me. I was there watching that game. But there is a development. So we have to learn. So here is Elisha telling Elijah, I am ready to be disciplined. Now, in every craft, there is a discipline. You want to be a doctor, you must learn the disciplines of a doctor. They took me into the forensic building, they took his brain out. This was my training as a law enforcement. Thought I could take it, but when they slipped that brain in there, I don't know, I got a little sick, my stomach, and I said to myself, I could never be a doctor because it's too, the discipline. To be a law enforcement officer, you have to learn the discipline. What you can't do, what it takes for you to do. To be a teacher has to have very much disciplines, and their disciplines are probably the most scrutinized because you have to deal with so many different types of characters that you must develop into an education. I hope I'm making sense. There's special education, there's speech therapy, there's all different types of things. So you need to learn to be a teacher through the disciplines of teacher training. I hope I'm making sense. So here is Elijah learning the discipline. The disciples had to learn the discipline. Oh, I hope I'm saying something. And the only way to learn the disciplines of God is to be in servitude. You can't learn them no other way. You can't learn. I can be with the bishop, and he can teach me everything, but I still not have learned because I must learn it in service. He can go over his old notes. I can follow all his preaching, but unless I learn to be in servitude. Now I'm talking to myself, so nobody beat me up. I'm being honest with Ron. All right. So we think that it's learned in all these other things. Your discipline to study, you got to start studying. You can't study before the test or study before you speak. You must learn to have the discipline, and that's what college does, right? It teaches you how to have discipline to study. I hope I'm making sense. So Elisha is learning what it is to be a true servant. He went to his mother and father, he kissed me, he said, I got to go. I can no longer be connected here. I want to be wholly connected over there. And there can't be anything getting in my way. Because I can't do right with God with stuff in my way. So I got to cut things off. Yes.
You asked the question earlier, like what was a apprentice?
Yes. That's correct.
And you were explaining it while you were
that's me.
The one that sits and learns from someone who has mastered the craft. You know, that's the maximum of the apprentice with your apprenticeship under someone who has mastered the craft that he wants to learn.
I took an apprentice. I was an apprentice before I became a correctional officer. I went to California to Redondo Beach, to the train press, whatever. And I thought I knew something until I got the job, and I got before a guy who had been doing it for 25 years. And Bishop, he was so good that I knew how to print, but sometimes it would get certain kind of jams in the machine. He came to me and said, I need to fix that right now. I said, well, he took the paper, and it's the way he just split the paper over, let the wind blow. He just had it. He was like, watch this. He slapped it in that machine, that thing was like, and after a while, I learned to know that the paper had too much static playing. I knew this sounds strange, but I learned it by being disciplined. I had a little knowledge, I knew about the machine, but in order to learn everything, I sat under And this is what we must learn to do when it comes to the things that God. He couldn't learn no better from nobody else. God told Elijah to go to the widow woman. Told him to feed, she'll feed you, the raven, and he learned obedience from Elijah. He learned that God will come through if you learn to trust in him. He just learned so many things that even if you had knowledge of the word and knowledge of the Pentateuch, you still miss the example of a good leader teaching you how to be a leader. Even when you don't know that you're supposed to be a leader. The cloth came off him. He just wanted to be a servant for the Lord. So I hope we gotta see this, because everybody here, the reason God made you was to serve Him. And that's the bottom line to our salvation. I ain't preaching, teaching, and I say these things are essential, but it's your whole character in Christ is being developed to be like Christ. Paul calls his servitude slave. He said, I am a slave for Christ. I'm bound, I'm chained to the love of God's ministry. You can't be a servant for God and don't love the people of God. Not that you ain't gonna have some problems with the people of God, but you need to learn. Now, it's hard to be a forgiver if you're not a lover. So I hope I'm not missing. I hope y'all with me this morning. But our attitude, we must develop our attitude to be a servant. And a servant proves to his master. I hope y'all get this. That he is reliable, dependable. So Elijah tells him, he says, you want a double portion. Now, I know I'm talking about what is a double portion? Anybody?
Twice as much.
Very good. But what is a double portion? When it comes to Bible terms, we got to learn this. I know I'm a little dry, but I'm going to stick to this because you got to understand what the scripture is saying in the lesson. Why did he ask for a double portion? What does double portion represent? Let's take that. All right. All right, double portion is the Leviticus law that the firstborn shall receive a double portion of the inheritance. He is the first one. He is the able, who is trained by the father to take on the family after he's gone. He has a responsibility of a double portion. Moses instituted in the Leviticus law that the firstborn gets a double portion. He is asking Elisha to give me a double portion like the firstborn. I want to be just like your son. It's not like when Elijah died, what did he call Elijah? What did Elisha call Elijah when he died? What did he call him? He called him father. You understand? But as though this is father, my leader, my mentor. You represent my father. And he got a double portion. Now, Elijah said to him, you can't get that unless you're here at the end. What does that mean? You know what? This sounds funny. And I hope you could be a great Bible teacher. I'm going to believe that. You've done it before. No, you've done it before. All right. So that is part of the key of what's being said here. He wants a double portion. Do you want a double portion from God? Well, you're going to have to be a servant. You don't give a dog horse because you're so talented. Some talent, you better be careful. Amen. Much given, much required. God bless me, bless me, bless me. Watch out. But now that you got blessed, God going to use you. And then when God uses you, you can't start talking about something that's too much. I'm sick of them folk. I'm sick of this thing. I said, oh, wait a minute now. All right. So he asked, give me a double blessing. And like, I'm right. And so at the Elijah's telling him that if you stand to the end, if you be that servant to the end, and Jesus told the disciples the same type of thing. Pick up your cross. Follow him. Follow him. Be a servant. Learn how to serve. That's how you lead people to Christ. Like, hey, good servant.
The thing that he said, Elisha actually double portion that fell from Elijah. That's right. Also, Elijah, like you said, he performed all miracles in life. He just performed miracles without any doubt. As he on the is when he met all the kings and the children they had. That was great. But the other part of Elisha is said that he performed twice as many miracles as Elijah. And Elijah, like you said, that because Elijah was Elisha. And I'm trying to match the just in my mind. But and I know that this is about the way that I was trying to include God. We all mighty in the sight of God. I am just like this thing. Danger and Mount Prophet. I believe in God's sight. You know, we do it as He commands. They all are mighty. If they don't have a true line, no two lines are mighty. But the one trying to say that you know, like Elisha, he's the one that when this servant had lost his axe, and he called, he had to really call Dad, and he showed him possible where to. We were the one that cast something into the water, and the axe is swimming. Okay. So I'm just saying, to follow, and that's what I'm saying. To follow, that is no limit to where God will take you. I mean, in one way, that was double portion for anyone that will follow strict leadership. Because Jesus is our first example, and he said, I don't do anything on myself, but my Father. And everything, and then he points at all of us to follow. And so much for you. The way it's called, let's see, Jesus never even allowed us to become adults. Throughout everything, our little church. And so we all are like a child state under leadership.
Amen. Very good. The reason I'm coming this way, I'm trying to provoke us to study and read our Bible. I can say on the subject and we can go on, but we must understand that God has types in school. That all Jesus existed all through the whole Bible. And Elisha is a type of Christ.
Yeah.
And Elijah or Elisha is a type of the church. Jesus told the disciples, you should do more than I did. And that used to bother me. Hey, what are you talking about? Amen. But the disciples went all over the world. Paul went to Spain, Rome. And we don't even talk about the other disciples and things they went through. There is an area in India where Thomas's name still reigns as the apostle that came and witnessed Christ in that area. Mm-hmm. So when you're serving for God, God can fill you up and do double the things.
Just to know the life that Elijah lived for Christ and how he witnessed for Christ. Enoch and Elijah was the only two that didn't see death. And we think about how powerful this must have been. They didn't see death. They were up into glory because they had lived such a life before God and did such a work for God that God saw their greatness. And Enoch and Elijah is the only two in the Bible that we ever heard of that never saw death.
But what we can't forget, it was the service of God. Because it talks about Enoch and it talks about his generation. So he gave service. He was obedient. Now, Elijah was so obedient to God that he put his very life at stake for God. He went to Ahab and said, listen, it's not going to rain. It's not going to rain. I mean, he challenged him on every point, and you didn't challenge Jezebel. Just didn't happen. And Jezebel told him, for sure, I'm going to take you out of here. For sure. And what did Elisha do? He ran. And when he got there, one time God said, what you doing over here? Get back over there. But Lord, they got 700, they got prophets, they got Baal, they got this and that. He said, go. And Elijah, even for the sake of his life, he was a servant for God. And then when he got to the hill, he got bold. He said, call out all the time. There is nothing God will do for someone who is in the attitude of service. Try God to see how he will do on your behalf when you're living on his behalf. So he challenges them. He gets two altars together. He puts wood in this one, or they put wood. He puts wood in this one, and he tells them, whoever is God can light up the fire of the altar is the true God. So they go into their little ritual, wherever they do, and they try and they can't get the altar to get fire. So what is Elisha or Elijah do? He goes to his altar and he pours water on it. So he is this example to which Elisha can be thoroughly trained as a servant's attitude. All right, let's be a little more, because I want to finish up. I'm trying to do my best to stay with the lesson. I promised myself and the Lord that I would do my best to stay with the lesson. All right, so Elisha follows Elijah. Due to the charges or the changes in the workforce, many of us today, in today's world, do not truly understand the importance of being, of course, we talked about an apprentice, right? So being obedient, watching, following the master at his work. Elisha served Elijah. That was his position. He told God, I'm going to Mount Zion, and I'm going to be the best servant at Mount Zion I can be. And the bishop comes to you, so I want you to sweep the floor. Man, I ain't sweeping no fire.
this week. Leave me up. I want you to watch. I ain't get saved before all that. I got called them. I'm like, the Lord told me, oh, no, I'm in order to get there, what the Lord tell you to do, you got to start here. Because when you get there, there are challenges that you need to be prepared and strong for when you get there. And some of us think that it's our knowledge, and it's not. It's our development stages to get something new wrong. Elijah succeeds Elijah. Amen. So Elijah understands the importance of having spiritual goals. Amen. So we need to have spiritual goals. Now, how do we show that we have spiritual goals? You know what? I want to be a good receiver. High school, I want to be a good receiver. I want to be a good professional. And give me an opportunity to watch and be a senior, freshman, a senior in the 8th grade. Everybody was a senior. So the whole team there was available. I want to be that. My brother came to me and he said something. I didn't know how he knew, but he said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to keep that ball with you all the time. I want you to see this ball. I want you to walk with you. With your girlfriend, I want you to throw the ball to each other. And I think that was discipline. That's what I wanted to do. And then I got out of the discipline. I let the goals slip away. This must be who you are, what you do every day. You do it long enough. Before you know, you have reached the goal without even knowing that you were going. Here he is. He succeeds. He reaches the goal. Now, it talks about he's going to have a double portion. But did he die with the double portion? Did he die with the double portion? He died with the promise of the double portion.
Elijah died without having received the
That's
double
correct.
portion. God was not finished yet. In 2 Kings 13:21, a dead man who was thrown into Elijah's sepulchre came back to life. If we are truly faithful to God, our ministry does not end at death. God's promises are more powerful than the grave.
All right. You've got to understand that our double portion does not consist of our gifts. You've got to get this. The double portion does not depend on our gifts. The double portion depends on our service. You want something? You want that from God? Well, act like you want it and be a better servant. I'm finding out just how important being a servant to God is. Now, why is it so important to be a servant? A servant doesn't care what area he serves in, how he got to serve. He just wants to serve. That's just one. You just want. So now, if you're like that, you're a vessel that God can use amongst all vessels. Some vessels he can use sometimes. Some vessels he can't use all the time because they're not in the servitude mode. They're in the user mode. Look how God uses you. But a humble one, every time somebody says you did well, you say, glory be to God. Because I know without him, I would have messed that up.
It's the same going. I hope so. I just because like you say, it just means so much to be a servant. But when I speak to people you can serve, you really have to love who what you do. If you look up, is respect and honor, because I think it's the proper. It says put a man in ways to please God. He'll make even his enemy to be at peace with him. Now, and I was saying, a servant want to please his master.
Yes.
As long as, and that goes back to what was on Sunday about when it comes to others with a greater love or respect than for yourself. That's what a servant will do. A servant will put his life on the line. You know, that's why Jesus said, greater love than no man can give. A man laid out his life. And that's what love will bring you to. That's why I say, none of us as believers can honestly say what we and how we would handle very stressful matters, you know. But I just believe that as servants, God has empowered. I look at this with great muscle. I believe that God has made us great athletes that we are able to perform in our duties. But He hasn't made us like the athletes, you know, that we just walk around with our the young man with the shirt on, catching the muscles standing up around, you know, all that. But our muscle in Christ, our strength is in Christ, is to be demonstrated when it needs to be used. You know, and that's the way I look at temperament, everything. When if we come to the place wherein we'll be pushed, we'll be tried, I believe that we love the Lord and serve Him. I believe that God will empower us to stand up. If we will not make Him change. But like I said, it's not just right. Let's impossible. Well, I can do all things through Christ. That gives me strength. And that way I don't have to walk around looking around and being told, like the prophet say, I'm blessed to give it all of those that she has and just the power of Him. What Jezebel say, it get done. He had experienced something, even though he had called down fire. But he said, Jezebel ain't called, they called no fire. And I know the things she done, you know, the lives of a whole lot of people, you know, and that's just the way it is. And I think that's the way we are. That's when I hate when any of us start to feeling that we can't do it. Once in a while, God conditioned us to do what we have to do in the past of our life.
Amen. Amen. All right, well, I'm going to conclude with the question on how did and what did Jesus do to do some teaching on servitude? What did Jesus do? Servitude is so important. What did Jesus do? To show or to teach a lesson on servitude.
But Minnie, oh my gosh, I know this one. When he was washing the feet, and
He washed the feet. What did the disciples do?
They were made.
What did they do? They washed up. What they do? They washed my feet. Now, why was washing feet so humiliating? Did I say that right? So, how can I use humiliating? I said humiliating. So, what was so bad about washing feet?
Because
Now, they say you want my feet to church. If I don't wash their feet, they come to church. I'm sorry.
because the master never washed the feet of the servant.
Very good. I like that.
You know, that was unheard of. The servant in that time always washed the master's feet.
And
What was so bad about Washington?
It wasn't bad. It was just who was doing what. You know, here the master himself, he's gonna get down on his knees and wash my feet. It's like Bishop coming going. I said, "Oh, Bishop, you the bishop. You know, you can't wash my feet." From his authority figure. You know.
They were all in the movement. They were dirty.
I wanted to hurt my state. Stuff they want. Yeah, they were on the journey. By the time I got home, what do you think the feet look like? Matter of fact, most mothers there, boy, you better wash your feet outside. Don't you bring more dirty feet up in here.
But in this case, that was not the reason why the disciples rejected it.
One of them,
no,
washing the feet was a lowly thing.
Right.
And that region or in that
was a lowly
washing feet was lowly. That was
yeah.
right. Lowly thing to wash somebody's feet. And the lowest servant washed the feet. And Jesus took that low position as a lowly servant and started washing feet. As a matter of fact, Mary, what did she do, man? She washed not only washing feet, she washed her hair and her hair. What is she doing over there? She didn't have a problem with servitude. She did the lowest, and she used her hair to get it done. So I agree with Lee that the master didn't wash the servant's feet, but the servant that washed feet was a low servant. That was not an easy, glorious job. Because I don't want to wash no feet right now. I don't do it as a practice. I mean, I guess we should. But there is a loneliness to it. And in order to be elevated in God, you got to first take that lowly servant position in God. Now, washing feet here is a little different. I'm not going to bring no dirty feet. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but it is a great symbol. But it's only a symbol of how our walk and our life in Christ should be as a servant under the discipline of servitude. Serviceness is an attitude. And to be a Christian, you're going to have that attitude in order to be lifted up to the vessel to which God has called you. If you got a great calling, then you must be a great servant. Because you got a great calling, don't make you a great preacher, a great teacher, a great this. And I'm not saying they're not called, I'm not saying they're not important, but the two, the life, the attitude, the aptitude, the way you want to give your service is what's going to. God is not going to have you in heaven saying, boy, you sure preached that message on June 16, 19, so and so. I'm so proud of you. He said unto his son, my son, who I am well pleased. He was ready to take on the role of the servitude and give his life for the world. So today we hope you learned something. That what it's going to take to get where God has called you to be, it's going to take an attitude of servitude in Jesus' name.
You all enjoy the lesson? Amen. I think about this one scripture that says, let the greatest among you be yourself. And so Jesus is the great. And he humbled himself and became low enough to wash the disciples' feet as I was going through that. And I think that just that alone should teach all of us, regardless of who we are, that the way up is really down. You cannot go to the top, and we have our education. As you know, you can't visualize graduating from college and having gone to high school. But you know, as believers, that's the way some of us, you know, we just feel that we visualize becoming certain individuals, you know, doing certain works, but there's a price behind everything. Yes, nothing comes very easy. So those are the things I think that we should. One other thing that I noticed, I've done it myself, concerning these, the word say 12 yoke of oxen. In 12 yokes of oxen is not, it wouldn't be 12 oxen. A yoke is 2.
Yeah.
And so it was 24, you know, which will make a difference, you know. But I'm born with this. And when I see 12, I see 6 and 6 is 12. And that's the way I have allowed it to be. But in things like this, just to know how the Elisha just dropped everything. Now, I came from a farm, and we never had but 2 youth horses on the farm. These called 2-horse farm. But when you have a farm of 12 yokes, that's some kind of farm. And for the man of God, we would say, if God Himself, so 2 has to be together. And so, and that's what I'm saying. To have that kind of farm and to walk away from there just because, you know, of the man of God, and just say, all I need to do is go home and tell mom and dad that I don't cry no more. Right. So let's give our teacher. Wonderful teaching. God bless you. Is there anything else to be said tonight?
We're able to schedule our meeting, so it's going to be Friday, July 29th here at the church. I have a big flyer for everyone to come at $35.
And it's still gonna be 6:30.
Yes. And I will probably go ahead. We're going to be doing the Rose Plaza event right after pink night on Saturday morning, July 30th. So, same thing, you know, same thing in here. I'm going to try to make the flyers up this week by Friday so that we can have them to, you know, let the service know on Sunday.
The hotel, please, maybe, please, we're going to have the numbers in there yet. For the application. So we can, 11 of next month is your deadline. It's over now.
Yeah.
And then, do we just like they're going to take their card? I guess.
Yeah, you take your card. And you specify, and they only have a few suites. So if you want a suite, you should, you need to call it.
Okay. You can get this. If nothing more, we will stop here. I'm going to be here because everything set up so
You been here?
yeah, these kids just lying like that, to know it's a lie. We're going to hear bow for the Lord unto you. We thank you,
Thank you, Jesus.
we thank you for life.
Yes.
Strength. We thank you for those who's listening in, oh God. We bless you. Praise you. We pray that our service tonight is going to grow.
Yes.
And has touched Lord in you. Again, Lord, we thank you.
Thank you, God.
We ask our blessing upon us and we leave this world. Keep us under your blood. and protect us as we travel the highway, and travel the sky. Tell wars all about the need to travel. What we need for protection. Protect us in our homes, on our job. Everywhere we go, we will glorify. Yes. Bless us. Help strengthen us in just strong. Help us to keep on loving and you know all this we ask. Jesus. Let's do that. Let's repeat the word. Let us in Jesus.
Jesus,
You are the best thing.
the best thing
Ever
that ever happened
to me.
to me.
Amen. Embrace